Hey family, welcome back to Buzzworthy Veterans. I'm your host, Ant Stroud. Today I have the honor of sitting next to the visionary man himself, CEO and owner of Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty, Pete Dalton. Not only that, I have the honor of sitting next to a woman who once held the title Clay County Military Spouse of the Year, COO of Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty, Mona Gardella. Thanks so much for being here today, y'all.
Thanks for asking us.
So the audience should definitely know that I am a realtor with Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty, and you are the one who gave me the start in this. I was born in Coldwell Banker, so I have an affectionate love for Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty. So it's definitely an honor for both of you to sit here with me today.
Well, I want you to know that Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty feels the same way about you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I didn't tell them to say that, by the way. All right, so let's talk about our military service.
Sure.
So you were actually in, and you are actually a retired veteran spouse, which is definitely a made-up title, but one worthy of a title.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's start with you, Pete. Tell us about your military service.
I joined the Navy in 1966. How's that for scary?
Wow.
Okay? I grew up in Ohio, joined the Navy, went to Great Lakes, went to boot camp, came to Cecil Field in Jacksonville to VA 174, which was the A7 RAG squadron back then, and transitioned into VA 37, which was the first A7 squadron on the East Coast.
So were you a pilot?
I was not. I was a radar technician.
Wow, that's awesome.
I made 2 cruises with the Navy. I made a Vietnam cruise in 1968 and a Med cruise in 1969.
Well, that's
Got out
awesome.
in September of 70.
That's awesome, especially during those times when, you know, Navy is definitely needed. Sometimes not always appreciated, but, you know, we definitely thank you. And for us junior sailors who, you know, you helped pave the way, one of the people who helped pave the way, we definitely appreciate that. How long did you serve for?
I was in for 4 years.
Now, how did you decide 4 years was enough for you?
Maybe the Navy decided that. What makes you think that I decided? Let's start there.
Definitely an option. Okay. But were you, you know, you were good, you were happy, Navy was good?
I think the Navy was a tremendous experience for me. I really think I grew up in the Navy.
Awesome.
And I had been to college for a year and was not very successful with that. I tell people I went to school at Bowling Green University in Bowling Green, Ohio, and then I transferred to USN, and they always scratch their heads trying to figure out what USN is. I said, U.S. Navy.
United States Navy.
That's how I grew up. So I learned a lot about life in the Navy and how things worked, and I felt like I wanted to get out and do something else I could better serve by being a part of the general population. So.
Awesome. That's awesome, and definitely a passion that a lot of people share and pursue, so that's definitely great. Now, Miss Mona, tell us about you are a spouse. By the way, you are our first spouse on Buzzworthy Veterans,
Wow.
So congratulations. Round of applause.
Honored. Thank you. I'm so honored.
Tell us a little about what your side of the spectrum was being in the military as a spouse.
Well, funny thing is, I also started in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and
Was this coordinated? Like, did y'all,
No,
It's just a good place to be from.
Yes. And not to still be there.
And that's so
we prefer warm, sunny Florida. But I married my husband in 1995 in Cincinnati, Ohio, and he was fresh out of the Naval Academy. And so I married straight into being a military spouse and did 20 years as his active duty. Would you say a veteran spouse? Well, now I am.
Retired veteran military.
So spent 20 years supporting his career, and most of our time ended up being in Jacksonville, which is weird. Pretty unusual career. Did 7 years in Jacksonville, 3 different tours. By the time my oldest daughter was 4, he had been gone half her life.
Wow.
And all 3 of my daughters were born here, and then we were lucky enough to do 2 back-to-back tours in Hawaii.
Yes.
So, yes, enjoyed every minute of that. And we ended up back in Jacksonville. So he did a tour in Jacksonville, then a tour in Afghanistan, and we certainly didn't follow him there.
Yes.
We stayed behind in Jacksonville, and he did his last tour in Jacksonville as well. So
awesome. Well, thank you both for your service. Now let's jump into Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty.
Sure.
Pete, I have interviewed with tons, you may not know, but you may know, with different agents, different companies, different brokerages, and I have still yet to find anything quite like Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty. The Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty we know today, was that the vision you had going into it, or how did this company come about?
Well, I've been in the real estate business since 1973. So I started as a salesperson, then I was a manager, then I was a broker, a partner, and then I ended up with my own brokerage. But we actually became the Coldwell Banker franchisee in 2010, and at that time it was a huge risk to do that. And I took that risk because we had a vision for being able to create a platform to help agents do business. And my thought at the time, still is my thought today, is that most companies either don't do any advertising at all or they only advertise the company, okay, and the agent's secondary. In our business model, we think that that the person that sits in the living room with the seller or rides around the buyer in the car with the buyer is the agent, okay? And what my job is to give the agents the tools that they need to be able to better serve their customers and clients. So our business model is a little bit different in that we reach the same end, okay, by putting a different emphasis on how we do that, okay? And we do it by focusing on the agent, and the results have been really pretty spectacular.
I can definitely attest to that, and I see that vision, and I see that in the company. And me being born into Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty, technically I'm going into my third full year as an agent, but I've had my license for a little bit longer than that, focused on education. I have reached, what some would say extreme success,
Right.
Being the top 5% agent, being listed on the Jacksonville Business Journal as the top 50 real estate group, you need to use and know.
Right.
And I attest that solely to the fact that I come up with the ideas, but you and your brokerage have fostered the ideas to supply the demand and supply the resources. And it's never no, we can't do that. It's let's see how we can do that if that's possible and stuff like that. So I definitely see that and acknowledge that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We work hard. There's 40-some people that work hard at that.
I love it, and the whole team, I appreciate them all. But apart from that and being a service to the agents who then can be a service to the community, Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty is also a service to the community going into your nonprofit of CBV Cares. So Mona, can you tell us a little bit about what CBV Care is?
Sure. CBV Cares started in 2014, I think, originally, in one of our offices. And we have raised thousands of dollars through various fundraisers. And it's kind of a sister company to Coldwell Banker Vanguard. And we have given back over $50,000 a year to nonprofits in the past couple of years, even last year with COVID going on. So.
That's awesome. And I know with the nonprofits last year with COVID, it was very hard to raise that kind of money. However, when you have agents such as Coldwell Banker Vanguard House, we believe in not only our service to the community, but giving back through Coldwell Banker Vanguard. We ourselves invest into CBV Cares.
Absolutely.
And the community invests in that as well. We do several fundraisers throughout the year, but last year was particularly hard, but we didn't waver in our vision for CBV Cares, and we stepped up and we supplied the funds that needed to help our community.
And even before COVID, our number one fundraiser is the contributions that the agents make from their commission checks.
Oh, that's
even before
awesome.
COVID. I don't know if you ever knew that.
I did. I personally didn't know that, but I know
Absolutely.
I was always down to support.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Pete, if anybody wanted to reach out to you as the broker and wanted to potentially become an agent here, and I know you have a beautiful operation, how can they go about reaching you?
Probably the best way to reach me would just be to call our number, which is 269-7117, and ask to speak to me. Okay?
So that's
I'm
you.
pretty accessible.
Okay,
That's me.
good. That's awesome. That is important. Brokers, especially when you get to a certain size, sometimes they linger in the communication. But I called you the other day and you answered on the first ring, and I was really impressed with it. So that's awesome. And Mona, if anybody wanted to donate to CBV Cares, how can they do that?
You can call the same number and ask to speak to either Pete or myself, and we'll put them in contact with the right person.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here today, and welcome to the family.
Thank you for asking us.
Glad to be
Thanks,
here.
Ant.
All right, family, if you want to learn more about Pete Dalton and Mona Gardella with CBV Cares and Coldwell Banker Vanguard Realty, visit iwantabuzz.com. That's going to do it for this episode of Buzzworthy Veterans. I'm your host, Ant Stroud. Remember, always family, always vets. I'll see you next time.